Every AI agent you build eventually hits the same fork in the road. You have a task, call an API, search a database, run a calculation, and you have to decide, should the agent call this directly as a tool, or should a separate agent handle it independently as a subagent? Get this wrong in one direction, and you end up with one bloated agent cramming too much reasoning into a single context window, tripping over its own accumulated history. Get it wrong the other way, and you have bolted coordination overhead, extra LLM calls, and real debugging complexity onto a problem a single Python function would have solved in 10 lines. This is not a minor implementation detail you figure out later. It is the single architectural decision that determines whether your agent system stays debuggable at scale or collapses into an opaque mess of handoffs nobody can trace. Today we are building the complete decision framework with working code for both patterns so you never guess wrong again. Let's start with what each one actually is. A tool is a capability an agent uses to interact with external systems and perform actions beyond the model's built-in knowledge. In practice, tools are usually functions, API calls, database queries, searches, or file operations exposed to the model through a defined interface. The interaction loop is always the same 4 steps. The model receives a task and determines external information or an action is needed. The model generates a structured tool call with the required arguments. Your application executes the tool and returns a result. That result gets added back into the conversation, letting the model continue reasoning and decide what happens next. The critical distinction to hold onto: tools do not perform reasoning themselves. They execute predefined operations and return data, nothing more. The model handles all the planning, interpretation, and decision-making around those operations. Because tools execute your code rather than spinning up another LLM call, they are typically fast, deterministic, and dramatically cheaper than spawning a subagent for the exact same task. This is the default building block every agent should start with. Let's make that 4-step loop concrete with real, runnable code. A tool is defined with a typed schema the model reads, plus a Python function that performs the work when called. On screen, a get_user_record tool, defined with a JSON schema specifying one required string argument, user_ID. Below the schema sits the actual implementation, a plain Python function that queries a database and returns a structured dictionary. Notice what is absent. No reasoning, no interpretation, no multi-step planning. The function takes an input, performs one operation, and returns an output. That is the entire contract, nothing hidden underneath it. When the model decides it needs this data, it emits a tool call with user_ID filled in, your application layer executes get_user_record, and the raw dictionary result gets appended straight back into the conversation for the model to interpret. This pattern, typed input, deterministic execution, structured output, is the practical test for whether something belongs as a tool at all, and it holds true regardless of how complex the underlying implementation happens to be. Now let's flip to subagents because they look deceptively similar from a distance but work completely differently underneath. A subagent is a separate LLM call, typically a distinct agent instance with its own system prompt, its own context window, and often its own dedicated set of tools that receives a task, works through it independently, and returns a result back to the orchestrating agent. From the orchestrator's perspective, calling a subagent looks identical to calling a tool. Send a task, get a result back. The difference is entirely in what happens in between those two events. A subagent runs its own multi-step reasoning loop, potentially makes its own tool calls along the way, and manages its own internal state throughout. Here is the part that trips people up. The orchestrator has zero visibility into that internal process. It only receives the summary at the very end, with none of the intermediate reasoning, search attempts, or dead ends the subagent worked through to get there. That opacity is a deliberate trade-off, not an accident. Let's make the subagent pattern concrete with code, contrasted directly against the deterministic tool from scene 3. On screen, a research_subagent function that, instead of running one deterministic operation, spins up an entirely new LLM conversation with its own dedicated system prompt. You are a research specialist. Investigate the given topic thoroughly using web search, then return a concise summary. That subagent receives its own dedicated web_search tool, runs its own internal while loop of reasoning and tool calls exactly like a fully independent, self-contained mini-agent, and only returns a final string once it has genuinely finished the entire assigned task from start to end. Compare the two function signatures directly. Get_user_record from scene 3 takes a user_ID and returns a dictionary almost immediately. Research_subagent takes a topic string and returns a summary string, but underneath that innocent-looking signature sits an entire independent agent loop, potentially dozens of tool calls, multiple rounds of internal reasoning, and real token cost accumulating with every single step before anything ever returns to the caller at all. Let's put the differences side by side in one clear comparison table, because this is the reference you will want to screenshot. On what runs? Tools execute your code directly, subagents execute another full LLM call. On context window, a tool result lands directly in the orchestrator's shared context. A subagent gets its own separate, fully isolated context window. On reasoning, tools have none, deterministic execution only. Subagents run a full multi-step reasoning loop internally. On cost, tools cost only their execution time. Subagents cost one or more additional LLM calls stacked on top. On latency, tools are low latency, a single function call. Subagents are meaningfully higher, a full inference cycle or several. On visibility, tools give you full visibility, the result sits directly in the orchestrator's context. Subagents give you only partial visibility, a summary with the reasoning hidden. The context window distinction matters most of all. A tool result joins everything the orchestrator is already reasoning about. A subagent starts completely fresh with only what the orchestrator explicitly chose to pass it. So when should you actually reach for a tool? For concrete categories, straight from real production patterns. First, calling an external API, fetching a user record, posting to Slack, querying a database. These are pure execution tasks. The model decides to call them, your code runs them. Second, transforming or validating data, running a regex, formatting a date, calculating a hash, converting units. Deterministic operations like these belong in functions, never in LLM calls, since an LLM is an expensive, unreliable way to compute something a one-line function handles perfectly. Third, reading or writing files, opening a file, writing output, checking whether something exists. File system operations are predictable and fast as direct tool calls. Fourth, running a search, semantic search over a vector database, a SQL query, a web search. The search runs deterministically and returns results. The model interprets those results afterward, but execution stays a tool. The practical test across all four: if you can write it as a typed Python function that doesn't need multi-step reasoning, make it a tool. Let's see a complete tool calling loop handling two different tools at once, because real production agents rarely use just one. On screen, a tools list defining both get_user_record and a second tool, post_to_Slack, each with its own typed schema. Below that, a dispatch dictionary maps each tool name directly to its Python implementation, a simple and genuinely reusable pattern worth keeping. The orchestrating loop calls the model, checks whether it requested any tool calls, and if so, executes each one, first querying the database for the user record, then posting a formatted message to Slack using data from that first result, appending every result straight back into the same shared conversation before calling the model again. Notice both tool calls happen inside one continuous context. The model can see the user record it just fetched while deciding exactly what to post to Slack. That shared visibility across sequential tool calls is precisely the advantage tools have over subagents, and precisely what you lose the moment you isolate work behind a separate context window. Now, when does a subagent actually earn its added complexity? First scenario: the task has non-obvious intermediate steps. Consider research the competitive landscape for X. That involves deciding what to search first, reading results, deciding what to search next based on what you just found, synthesizing findings across many sources, and producing one structured summary at the end. Each step genuinely depends on the step before it. That is a real reasoning process, not a lookup, and it belongs in its own dedicated context rather than cluttering the orchestrators. Compare that to a single database query. There is no chain of dependent decisions, just one deterministic operation with a clear input and output. The research task, by contrast, could take a dozen different paths depending on what the first few searches actually return, and an agent needs room to explore, backtrack, and replan as it goes. Cramming that entire exploratory process into the orchestrator's main context would pollute every subsequent decision the orchestrator has to make with dozens of intermediate search results it never actually needed to see. Second scenario for subagents: the work can genuinely be parallelized across multiple independent tasks. Processing K documents independently runs meaningfully faster across K concurrent subagents than working through them one at a time sequentially inside a single shared context. Microsoft's AutoGen framework is built partly around exactly this pattern, coordinating specialized agents that work in parallel on independent subtasks simultaneously. On screen, Python code using asyncio.gather to launch several research subagents concurrently, each investigating one separate competitor, all firing off at the same moment rather than waiting in a queue for each other to finish first. Each subagent runs its own complete reasoning loop on its own dedicated topic, entirely independent of what the others are doing in parallel. Once every subagent completes, the orchestrator gathers all of their individual summaries together and synthesizes one final combined report. This pattern only works because subagents genuinely do not share mutable state with each other. Each one is a fully self-contained unit of reasoning, which is exactly the property that makes true parallel execution safe and reliable to run. Third scenario. The subtask genuinely needs its own dedicated toolset. A code-writing subagent needs a code executor and file system tools. A research subagent needs web search and document reading tools. Handing the orchestrator direct access to every tool from both domains at once creates real tool overload. And this is not just intuition, it is measured. Published research on agent tool calling accuracy confirms performance measurably degrades as the total number of available tools grows larger, because the model has to correctly choose among an ever-expanding menu on every single decision. Scoping tools per subagent keeps each agent's decision space small, which directly improves how reliably it picks the correct tool for its narrow, well-defined job. Fourth scenario, closely related. The intermediate output would introduce real noise into the orchestrator's context. A single database query result is compact and immediately useful sitting in context. A multi-step research synthesis spanning dozens of retrieved documents is not. Isolating that sprawling work in a subagent and surfacing only the final conclusion keeps the orchestrator's own reasoning genuinely clean. One more genuine benefit of subagents worth naming directly: context isolation actually improves reliability, not merely code organization. A subagent working in a completely fresh context cannot be distracted by the orchestrator's accumulated history, the earlier failed attempts, the unrelated tangents, the noise from other tasks the orchestrator has already handled in this same session. For tasks where sustained focus genuinely matters, code generation, structured data extraction, or multi-step analysis, that isolation tends to produce measurably more consistent, reliable outputs than trying to do the same reasoning inside an already crowded shared context. This is a subtle but important point. Subagents are not just an organizational convenience for keeping code tidy. Isolation is itself a reliability mechanism, actively protecting a focused reasoning task from contamination by everything else happening in the broader system around it. That said, this benefit only applies when the task genuinely requires sustained, uninterrupted focus. For a single deterministic lookup, there is simply no accumulated distraction to protect against in the first place, which is exactly why tools remain the correct default choice. Time to formalize all of this into an actual, repeatable decision framework. 3 concrete questions, run in strict order, applied to every single task you consider building. On screen, the first question rendered as executable Python code. Is the task primarily execution or reasoning? If the task is a well-defined operation with predictable inputs and predictable outputs, a database query, an API call, a search, a calculation, a file operation, a tool is almost always the right choice. If instead the task requires exploring, analyzing, synthesizing, or making a genuine series of dependent decisions where each step depends on the one before it, it is usually a much better fit for a subagent. This first question alone resolves the overwhelming majority of real-world cases correctly on its own, with very little ambiguity left over. It is only the genuinely ambiguous middle ground, tasks that look deceptively simple on the surface but secretly involve multiple dependent decisions underneath, that require you to keep working carefully through the remaining 2 questions before committing confidently to either architecture. Question 2. Does the intermediate work actually matter to the orchestrator, or would it just be unwanted noise cluttering things up? Tool results are typically small and genuinely useful enough to keep directly inside the orchestrator's own context. A database record, one search result, or a single API response can usually be consumed immediately without further processing. But when a task generates large amounts of intermediate work, multiple sequential searches, several document reviews, repeated iterations, or layered analyses, a subagent can keep every bit of that sprawling work fully isolated and return only the final, distilled conclusion back to the orchestrator. On screen, the decision function extended with this second check, comparing an estimated intermediate output size against a defined noise threshold. Below that threshold, stay with a tool. Above it, isolate the work behind a subagent instead. This question really asks one thing directly: would exposing every intermediate step actively help the orchestrator reason better? Or would it just dilute its already limited attention across dozens of details it never truly needed to see in the first place? Question 3, the final branch in the tree. Can the task run independently, separate entirely from the orchestrator's own immediate workflow? A tool executes as part of the orchestrator's workflow directly and returns a result before that workflow continues forward to its next step. A subagent, by contrast, is often the better fit precisely when work can be delegated, run independently, or executed in genuine parallel alongside other tasks. Especially useful when processing multiple documents, researching multiple topics simultaneously, or coordinating several specialized workflows at once. On screen, the complete three-question decision function assembled end-to-end, chaining all three checks together and returning either tool or subagent as one clean final string output. Tools remain best for deterministic execution, fetching data, running calculations, transformations, validations, or file operations. Subagents remain best for bounded reasoning tasks, researching and synthesizing across sources, writing and refining complex content, or analyzing large document collections genuinely in parallel. Run any real task through these exact three questions in order, and the correct architecture becomes obvious rather than a matter of guesswork. Here is the most common mistake teams make: introducing subagents before they are genuinely needed. A subagent can make an architecture cleaner on paper, but it also adds real, tangible complexity. Every subagent introduces another context window, another reasoning loop, and another handoff between components, which directly translates into more latency, more cost, and more moving parts you will eventually have to debug when something breaks at the worst possible time. In a large number of real cases, a well-designed tool is genuinely enough. If a task can be completed through a straightforward API call, a database query, a search, or any other deterministic operation, adding a separate agent on top usually creates more overhead than it delivers in value. As a rule of thumb worth committing to memory, start with a single agent and a small set of well-designed tools by default every time. Only introduce a subagent when it solves a specific, concrete problem tools genuinely cannot solve cleanly, isolating large intermediate work, enabling true parallelism, or giving a complex task its own dedicated reasoning space. So what does adding a subagent actually cost you, beyond the obvious extra LLM call? Calling a tool is simple. Provide inputs, get a result back immediately. Calling a subagent is fundamentally different because you are also delegating part of the actual thinking process, not just an operation. That means the orchestrator has to define the task clearly enough for the subagent to work through it fully independently. The subagent does not automatically inherit the orchestrator's broader goals, its unstated assumptions, or its full conversation history. It only knows exactly what it was explicitly given, nothing more. On screen, the clean handoff contract is code. The orchestrator sends one focused, self-contained task string. The subagent performs its own reasoning and tool use entirely internally. The subagent returns one concise result string the orchestrator can immediately use. The rule of thumb worth memorizing: pass tasks down, pass conclusions back up. Systems that let subagents share mutable state or leak partial results back mid-task introduce coordination complexity that quickly outgrows the original problem you were trying to solve. Let's bring the entire framework together. Tools execute code. Subagents execute reasoning. That single sentence resolves more architecture debates than any framework documentation you will ever read. Tools should be your default starting point every time. Low cost, low latency, fully visible inside the orchestrator's own context, and low risk of accidental overengineering creeping into your system. Subagents earn their place only when a task demands genuine multi-step reasoning, real parallel execution, or dedicated tool isolation that a single shared context simply cannot provide cleanly. The question worth asking before you write a single line of subagent code is disarmingly simple. What does this subagent actually buy me here? If the honest answer is only a small amount of processing before returning a result, a tool is almost certainly sufficient. If the honest answer is independent reasoning, real context isolation, or genuine parallel execution, a subagent is genuinely justified. Start with tools. Add subagents only when tools hit a concrete limit. Subscribe for more architecture breakdowns, and tell us which pattern your last agent got wrong.